Hello and welcome to another episode of the Arborist Growth Partners. And I am absolutely thrilled to have Chris Comer with me from Joshua Trees down in Florida, and Tree Nerd as well. We've just put that in there, and I'll certainly be asking you about that later. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing great, Graham. Thanks for having me on. I really
I
appreciate it.
truly appreciate you being here. So we'll dig into who you are in just a second, but I'm going to start with that usual question of, in your opinion, what differentiates tree service companies that survive, just barely survive, with those that absolutely thrive and make it?
Yeah, I'd say I've worked for a few different companies, and the main difference was communication. And that goes
Mm,
from the office staff taking the phone calls, taking notes down for the sales team who needs to go over there, interpret treatments for the client, and they need to write up the estimate in a way that they can communicate with the crew to perform the work. It all starts with the communication, attacking problems head on. If you have an issue, you attack it head on. You don't hide from it. That's one of the biggest issue or one of the biggest differentiators between Joshua Tree, who I work for now, and some of the companies I worked for in the past. Another is training. Training is a big one. You know, weekly sales meetings, weekly crew meetings, safety meetings. That's all big. You know, really big differentiator between some of the companies that are just surviving.
mm.
Another is integrity, doing the right thing no matter what. Even if it'll cost you a sale now, it may, earn you a lifetime customer, and that's really big. Um, and then adapting to new problems, new technology. That's all really big. And then consistency, doing it every single day, taking all that, doing it every single day, and making sure that everybody on your team is doing the same thing. And then positivity within the company, the cultural aspect, having a good company culture is huge as well.
That is a hell of an answer. I've got to say, that's
I was
amazing.
prepared. I listened to your podcast, so
Yeah,
I was
it's
prepared for
prepared, but it's awesome for sure.
that.
Communication was an interesting one to me as well. You talking internally in the company, or are you talking with everybody specifically, or is there any one focus on communication that's important? I guess clients.
Yeah, all across the board between the company employees themselves. You know, the like I said, the office team needs to be able to communicate with the sales team, who needs to be able to communicate through the estimate to the crew who's actually performing the work. And then the most important, or one of the most important, is communicating with the client and breaking down, difficult concepts into ways that they'll understand.
And I guess communication could also be when things go wrong a little bit, and that's where
Absolutely. Yep.
integrity comes in as well, I guess,
Yep.
because
Absolutely.
not every job's going to go perfectly, I suppose.
Right. And you don't hide from that. You know, we have
Mm,
at Joshua Tree, we have over 1,500 five-star reviews, and we got that by attacking problems head on,
mm.
not hiding from them, not trying to put it off on somebody else. Just take care of the customer, and they're going to be happy. They're going to be raving about you to all their neighbors.
1,500.
1,500.
Wow, that's amazing. Because we always tell people that reviews and social proof is one of the most important aspects for every single touch point of online presence, right? And trust from people
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Once
that's
you
very
have
cool.
that, then the ball keeps rolling. You know,
Yeah.
people see those reviews. They trust other people that are talking about you.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing and where you are now.
Okay, so I started off about 18 years ago. I actually started in Texas, just kind of fell into tree work. My brother was actually quitting his job as a groundman for a tree service, and he thought it was the right thing to do to find a replacement for himself. So I happened to be that replacement. I came and I worked with him the first day and immediately fell in love with it. I saw an
Huh.
old cowboy up in the tree, 60 foot in the air, taking down this massive pecan tree, with ropes. And we're holding the ropes and he's yelling, the boss is yelling at him. It was just the kind of excitement that I really enjoyed. I came in from it from odd jobs, restaurants. I was actually working at a grooming salon, washing dogs at one point, and just going from one job to another. This was around 2008. Trying to find something stable was pretty difficult. But yeah, then I fell in love with the climbing aspect and the rigging, especially. Really, really enjoy physics and how it all works. Tying knots, I would sit at home and practice knots. And then, yeah, just climbed every day as a production climber. One day I hurt my back and I realized, hey, I gotta find a way, to make this a long career. So my main focus at that point was longevity and how do I do that? So then I started researching and decided, hey, I need to become a certified arborist. So that's when I started hitting the books, and then I became obsessed with the science behind it as well, not just the climbing. I got certified 2014, I believe, 2015. And I had this guy, Ian, I was working for at the time in Naples, Florida. And he was really encouraging me to go get the certification. So when I got this, I went down and slapped it on his desk, proud as could be. And he smiled from ear to ear. And I knew, hey, man, this is the place for me. First thing he said to me is, all right, now it's time to go get the master certification. So I was like, oh, man.
What's
So,
doing?
yep. So worked on that for a couple of years, really. Studying every day after climbing trees all day, just tired as can be, passing out behind a book. My first daughter was born. I'd read her, tree science books to help her sleep. And yeah, just became obsessed with learning everything I could. And that's kind of developed into where I'm at now as far as I want other people to have that passion and I want to teach other people as well.
Now, I'm going to ask you this because now we're talking about certification, and obviously we're going to go on to that as well because I really want to talk to you about Tree Nerd. It seems you have two sets of people. You have people that are not certified and people that are certified. Does it really make a big difference, particularly when it comes to business or employment or the skills that you have?
Well, I can tell you from an employee standpoint, it really does because I can tell you my salary has tripled or more since I've gotten my first certification. As an owner, it also matters because you're getting better contracts, in my opinion. You have a better market, really. The people that are educated looking for a good tree service, not looking for the cheapest price. And I think it's
Right.
really huge to have.
Because that's my experience as well. Obviously we're in the industry, and the people that we work with, when they have the certification, it's something that the public sees, and it's almost a stamp of approval, and it's trust as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. You're verified at that point. You're
right.
not just claiming to be an expert. You have a verification behind it.
And I'd mentioned as well because you're board certified too. What's the difference between regular certification and the board certified arborist certification, just for people out there who are thinking of getting into it?
Yeah, so it's just higher level of certification. It's the highest level. There's one that's fairly equal. It's the ISA Consulting Arborist, but it's not as well known. So for the certified arborist, you're going to have a study guide. You're going to go through it and pass and take the test. You need 3 years of experience. For the board certified master arborist, you have to earn 8 points, and those points are earned through years of experience. I think every 7 years is a point. It's also earned through CEUs. It's a lot harder to qualify for the exam. And plus the learning material itself was about 30 books, I believe it was, that you need to go through and really master the material. They do have a study guide now for the master arborist that kind of points you in the right direction. It doesn't exactly tell you the words, the answers like the ISA Certified Arborist guide does, but it points you at the resources to look for the answers for the test.
So certification is challenging. It's a way to enhance your career as you go through, the levels of the industry. And to me, it just seems like something that a business should have on its front cover.
Yeah, I believe if you're going to be in the business, you're going to, be a tree guy, you might as well try to be the best there is. And the way to do that is to earn certifications. And
So tell us a little bit about your role in Joshua Tree and how
working
did you end up
sales.
in Florida?
Well, my wife is actually from Florida, so
Okay.
yeah. I met her, about the same time I got into tree work, about a year before, and I moved her out to Texas, and she did not like it at all. It was just a different life, different way of living. So we ended up coming back. Her family's from here. But yeah, I love Florida. I actually lived here for, when I met her, I lived here for about 5 years in the meantime, because my brother lived out here at one time. So
Very cool. And how about Joshua Tree? What do you do there, and what's the company all about? Because it sounds from the answers you gave me, it sounds like that those answers, the communication, training, integrity, adapting, consistency, and positivity is almost a company trait as well.
absolutely, yeah. It all starts at the top. Joshua Hill, he's the owner, the guy. He's just always working on bettering his business. He never comfortable, which is a great trait to have. We're always constantly training. I work in sales, so we have a sales meeting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we have a few in between if anything comes up. We have a text group where if anything comes across, we have a rapid response group. So we all tackle it as a team. If there's any kind of issue, we talk through the problem, and then the person who's in charge of that crew calls the client, and we find a solution. But Joshua Tree's been around for about 12 years. Like I said, 1,500 five-star reviews, always learning, always adapting. Just a really great company. And I've worked for a few other companies that were the polar opposite, that were more reactive. And Joshua Tree, I can 100% say, is proactive.
Let's dig into that a little bit. When you're saying reactive and proactive, what does that mean? So if I'm coming at it as somebody who wants to build a business, maybe I got my certification, I've got a little bit of budget to start, buying some equipment and getting into it. How can I make sure that I'm setting off on the right foot?
So proactive or reactive could be marketing. I mean, it could be you're waiting for the phone to ring, or you're out there and you're advertising, you're investing in advertising as much as you can. And like I said before, with the handling problems, handling issues, proactive is also training. You're not waiting for an accident to happen. You're avoiding accidents. You're doing crew safety meetings, and you're making sure that you don't have the problem.
So across the board, everything is
Across the board.
Making it happen instead of waiting for it to happen,
Absolutely.
I guess. And how do you guys, I guess because you're in sales, I'm interested in, again, if I'm starting a company, how do I get that sales engine going, or what does a sales engine even look like?
So the sales engine for us looks like, so we have an office staff. We have 5 ladies, I believe, in the office now that answer the phone on the first ring every single time. We have a huge Facebook presence here. That's one of our biggest, probably. We have the reviews. The Google is huge. When you have 1,500, 5-star reviews, the leads come in fairly easy. So the office ladies take the call. They assign a salesperson to the job or to the estimate. They go out, they meet with the client, and then we have about 8 crews right now that each sales guy is assigned to one of the crews. They're responsible for communicating with the crews to make sure everything goes smoothly.
One of the biggest things that I find with the smaller companies is a reluctance to pick up the phone.
Yeah, that's one of the things I hear almost every day when I get to a client's house. Is like, well, you guys got the job. You answered the phone.
Right. Right.
It's almost easy sometimes when you have a really great office staff.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to someone last week they were, let's say they were a little cash strapped, but they weren't answering the phone, and they were, what can we do? And I said, the first thing you can do is to stop missing calls. So
Yep.
hire somebody to answer the phone and do it in a nice way as well. We had, in fact, answering the way you answer calls is important as well. We previously worked with somebody who had less than ideal telephone manner.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've worked for a couple of those as well. Yeah. Why?
Seems to repel
Yeah,
people.
absolutely. So one of the things Josh trains our office staff is to always have a smile when you're on the phone. They can hear that smile through the phone,
It's
and
true.
it
Yeah,
actually
it's very
works.
true.
Yeah.
And how do you manage your customers then? I guess you're a big company. You've got a lot of people there. I'm guessing you use CRM of some sort instead of spreadsheets. Like
We do.
that's
Yeah,
another
we
thing I
have
keep
Jobber.
hearing.
Yeah, yeah, we use Jobber. It's very
Okay.
nice. We love it.
Mm.
Everything's very smooth on it. Of course, every piece of technology has its, downfalls, but Jobber is great. I've used one in the past. I forgot what it was even called, Arbor something, but it was too complicated.
Mm.
Jobber, you have a notes section where you can communicate directly with each other, where the customer doesn't see it. So you can take photos. We take photos of every single job. We mark them, edit it, mark them out, and
Mm.
it makes communication very simple for the crew.
Right. Simplicity works instead of
Hmm.
complexity. Okay, that's interesting to know because a lot of people I talk to as well, they use Java. They love it. Some people use other systems. But I always wonder, and that's where I was saying to you, we build internal tools to improve our workflow. Sometimes the tools are just too complicated.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
drives me crazy when I pay a lot of money for something that I only use 10% of.
Yeah, yeah. That's what one thing I love about Jobber is just it's really
Mm.
intuitive, very easy.
And how about if like if I wanted to, again, in your sort of opinion, if I wanted to start a company and I was a little low of budget, how would I do that? Would I just start with a bit of tree pruning here and there, or
Yeah, you could start that way. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've tried it. You could just get a trailer, load up the trailer, haul away the brush. But if you have the money to invest in equipment makes the biggest difference.
mm,
We show up. We have $500,000 of equipment sitting in their driveway. Not only does it help get the job done, but it's a giant billboard. People see that in their neighborhood and then they call. So that alone helps get a lot of leads. Just seeing the trucks around.
right, invest
You walk.
in equipment,
Absolutely. Yep. That's
decals?
huge.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you need to start, from scratch with the trailer,
Mm.
it's a way to get started, but make sure you're not just pocketing the money. You invest it back into the company.
And as the company's growing, because again, you're one of the bigger companies that I think I've talked to. How do you get that consistency and that growth and maintain that? What's the word I'm looking for? Maintain the flow of leads coming in, the people you're dealing with.
Once Google gets going, that the leads
Okay,
come. Google,
that's what Google
Facebook.
doesn't
Just
disappear.
we have a marketing team. Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
marketing team, and that's their full time job is to get
Mm.
us leads. We have, I think, let's see, 4 or 5 salespeople, and they all have 5 to 10 leads every day.
Mm.
A lot of that's return customers. People. We're in Florida. Everything grows all year round. Palm tree pruning is huge. And that's some resorts and
Mm.
such. They need it twice a year. We work on getting contracts. Once a year, and then that sets you up for the next year.
Mm.
You have recurring work. We're also just started plant healthcare division, so that helps a lot with recurring revenue as well.
I was
And
going to
also
ask about that.
while you're out there monitoring, doing your plant healthcare, there's always an upsell. I mean, you don't even have to try to find it. It's just there's always something that the client may not see that you're going to see as an arborist and be able to help them with.
Mm. So always be aware of what's going on in the
Exactly.
property. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how are you
Always
finding?
be educating, informing the
Mm.
client because nobody has a better eye than somebody who's out there every single day looking for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on in my backyard. When you see something, you're going to tell me, and if I
Right.
trust you, I'm going to buy from you.
Yep.
Right.
That's
So,
the huge part is the trust. You got it right there.
mm. How's the plant healthcare working out for you?
We're just started. I just got my lawn and ornamental pest control operator license, but we have a huge client base. I know it's going to take off. Send out a
Mm.
couple emails. We have a couple people lined up already for some monthly PHCs, not monthly monthly payments, but quarterly treatments and
Mm.
monitoring. That's going to be the biggest value in the plant healthcare. But we're ready. We're getting ready to go. We're just waiting on some final red tape.
Is there a specific type of demographic that would purchase plant healthcare services?
Yeah,
Strange
the best
question, maybe.
kind. No,
Best
great
kind.
question. Yeah, the best kind. That's the people that really care about their properties.
Mm.
You know, the people that they understand that the tree, the landscape is a holistic. You know, they want somebody in there that not only lets them know that they need their tree pruned, but also that their tree has pests, that their tree has a fungus, that
Mm.
their irrigation isn't quite right, um, that their landscaper's hitting the bottom of their tree with a string trimmer. You know, the people that you really want to go after are the really nice neighborhoods. So it's definitely the best kind.
Because I'm starting to hear more and more about plant healthcare as being a reoccurring revenue stream,
Hmm.
cutting through on one
Absolutely.
side and then a plant healthcare division on the other side. Do you see plant healthcare as something that would bring an equal revenue or more than the cutting side? How does that work in a company?
I think eventually it'll outpace it. I believe so.
Mm.
Um, it takes a little more knowledge and expertise um, to do the plant healthcare,
Mm.
but I think there is, in the long run, there's going to be much, obviously more margin, better margin in it. You're not paying a crew, you're paying a guy or two, to run around on routes and
Mm.
take care of properties.
Right. So a smart way for any aspiring tree service entrepreneur to be thinking, at least in the future, is to
Absolutely.
go,
Yeah, as long as they gain the knowledge and they're not just selling blanket sprays,
right,
that's
right.
a problem is prescribing work that doesn't need to be done. You're out there spraying one single chemical and you're causing more problems in the long run because you're getting rid of all the beneficial insects
Mm.
by killing everything. You're actually creating a bigger issue. So I don't
Mm.
recommend it for somebody just starting out in tree work. I recommend it for somebody who's been studying trees for years.
Does that happen from a lack of integrity or a lack of training?
Both.
Bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit of both. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
be the tree company you want to be. Like,
exactly.
mm.
Yeah.
So tell us about Tree Nerd then, because when I saw this, I was quite excited. Let's move on from tree services to Tree Nerd and why you're doing what you're doing with that.
Yeah. So Tree Nerd is a platform we built. I have a partner in Sweden named Herman. He built out the platform. He's a developer. He develops apps, and I made the videos, and it's come together really well. We have 6 hours of videos. It's ISA Certified Arborist prep course basically,
Mm.
but it's on its own platform. You can watch the videos. We have 2,500 plus flashcards to help you study. We have practice exams, mock exams. They're just like the real test. The wording is a little different, but the concepts are the same. You're timed, and we have a built-in AI, which if you're doing the flashcards, you miss an answer, you click on the AI explanation, and it breaks it down to you. You can also talk to the AI and say, "Hey, break this down to me like I'm 12 years old,"
Mm.
and it'll explain the concepts. The AI has been trained by arborists to the ISA theory. But yeah, we're very excited about it. We just launched it February 1st. Had very good response with it. Everybody's very happy who's taken it so far. We already have a couple graduates that have gotten their certified arborist.
Great.
Yep.
That's
So
amazing. So
yeah, and
why did you sort of lean into Tree Nerd then? What was the reason for you to do that?
well, when I was studying, it was like I said, I was staying up all night reading this book, and it was dry. It was very
Mm.
difficult to get through after a long day of climbing. And I thought there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be videos. At the time, there weren't. At that time, there weren't any videos out. Now there's other other programs. But the other programs I felt were missing, like the practice exams and the flashcards and the AI as well. Um, but yeah, I have a passion for teaching people to be a certified arborist. I like to see them win. I like when they come up to me and say, "Hey, I got my certified arborist. You helped in this." It's a great feeling. I have a YouTube channel. You can search my name, Chris Comer. I have a free course on there, and it's a basic overview. But if you want a really good, thorough explanation of everything, Tree Nerd is the way to go. Tree Nerd Academy.
Very cool. And is that something you're going to enhance and improve over time, I guess?
Yep, absolutely. This is just the beginning. I plan on
Yeah.
having other courses. There's going to be live study sessions, live board certified master arborist training. But yeah, it's just the very beginning. And we're going to be probably having some, tree service training as far as safety meetings and other kind of training on there as
Oh,
well.
that would be cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be very beneficial.
So are you considering now? Now my brain is thinking are you considering sort of modules where you give advice to people about how they could build a business? Is that something you might think about, or am I
Absolutely.
completely off tangent?
No, that's definitely in the works. Yep.
Cool.
So,
Chris, what's the difference between TreeNerd and other platforms out there for ISA prep?
yeah, so Tree Nerd is something that I really wish I had when I was studying to be an arborist. Um, the videos themselves, it's not just somebody talking over a PowerPoint and just with a dry lecture. We actually have videos as I'm giving the lecture style talk. You're actually seeing videos of the work in action, the science in action. You'll see the pests, you'll see the diseases, you'll see how to rig, how to climb. It's all visual, so it's a lot easier to digest.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, a lot of people, especially if it's a practical thing, a lot of people actually are more receptive to visual stimulus and reading out of a book.
Absolutely.
I know I
Yeah.
am.
So
Yeah.
I have seen a few other arborist prep, and it's boring to put it
Yeah.
lightly.
Yeah. I think any amount of studying can be if you're not careful. So it's interesting that you're taking a very different way of doing this.
Absolutely. So it's not the end all be all. You still have to learn the material. I can't learn it for you.
Hmm.
So you're still going to be tested by the ISA on what you've retained from the course. So it's just something we wanted to make as a tool to make that easier for you.
Right. So I would study, read books, head over to TreeNerd, use TreeNerd to help me for the exam prep and so forth.
Exactly. Yep. Our first module explains how to use the course, and we do recommend you still have the ISA official study guide. You read a chapter, you watch one of my videos, you do the flashcards and a practice test, move on to the next chapter, do the same thing. But definitely the ISA study guide has all the information that you need to pass the ISA Certified Arborist test.
That's cool. You're just making it more digestible
Exactly. Yeah.
and a little bit like having somebody help you.
Yeah. Yeah. A study buddy, a tutor. Yeah. We also have a community. We have a community feature where you can talk to other arborists and you can ask questions. Anything you ask, I'm going to see it. So if you have a question on theory, I can answer it.
Cool.
If you have a question about your career, there'll be other arborists that step in and help you as well.
Because online community is a very important thing for these days as well, I guess. So
Yeah, absolutely. Very important. And plus, we have a study group feature where you can actually put out an advertisement to get with somebody in your time zone. You want to do a night study with three guys or
cool.
three gals. You put out a little advertisement. You guys hook up individually, and you can share notes on there. You can share your progress from the course and your study group, and you can make it competitive. Sometimes competition really helps people too.
That's amazing. So a real tool, a peer tool as well as a study buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, Chris, and you were mentioning another feature you were excited about in TreeNerd as well. What is that?
Yeah, so the next phase of Tree Nerd is to target company owners, and they'll be able to get a set price for their employees, and we're going to build them a custom dashboard where they can check in on their own dashboard and they can see the progress that their teammates are making and hold them accountable.
Oh, so you're actually going to take Tree Nerd to the corporate level, in a sense.
Absolutely, yep,
Oh, very cool, and make it a tool that can be used for internal training.
absolutely. Yeah, we want to be part of
That's awesome.
your arborist training, and also, like I said, possibly in the future, safety training. You'll be able to watch videos, answer a test, and you'll have documented training.
Does the training, the ISA training, does that change very often? Do you have to keep up with changes in it, or is it something
Oh,
that's fairly static?
yeah, we're constantly updating it, and as new standards come out, we'll be adding to the course. We definitely plan on this being something that we're always constantly working on. It's
That's
not a
great.
one-time
Cool.
set it and forget it.
Cool. And presumably you'll be able to get people coming back as well as they finish one course, they can go on to another one and
Yep,
improve themselves that way as well.
yep, that's the goal.
That's awesome.
We want to widen the market to people that are already certified as well. That have other courses.
Hmm.
Utility specialist, municipal specialist, and all the other certifications as well.
Did this you were mentioning you were passionate in teaching and training? Is that something that like how did that develop for you?
Just developed. Just felt like the next logical step. I guess as I've learned throughout my career, I've had some very good mentors, some very good teachers, and it just motivated me to be one of those kind of guys and help other people. And like I said, I just really like seeing people win.
Because it seems to me, and I've spoken to quite a few people, that the arborist industry is one of mentoring and learning and teaching and self-improvement and just general growth that way. Whereas, the job that I did, I'd go and sit in an office, type out computer programs and go home at the end of the day. A lot of my
Yeah,
stuff was self-taught and not mentoring.
yeah, that's one of the best things about this field of work is that you can always learn something else. You're never going to learn it all,
Mm,
and teaching people is very rewarding, very much so.
cool. That's awesome. Um, Coming up to the top of the hour there, Chris, where can people find you? I guess Joshua Tree, but particularly as well, I'd love for people to find Tree Nerd.
Yeah. So Joshua Tree is myjoshuatree.com. Tree Nerd is treenerdacademy.com. You can go on there and check out. There's a little bit of a demo showing how the course works. And yeah, find us online. Find us on Facebook, Tree Nerd page, Joshua Tree page, and
Awesome.
shoot us a comment.
Sounds fantastic. Thanks for joining me so much, Chris, today.
Thank you.
It's been a
Thank you
pleasure.
very much
Hopefully,
for having me.
speak to you again soon. And
Sounds great.
all the best with Tree Nerd as well.
Thank you so much, Graham. Appreciate your
Take
time.
care.